So it's been a wonderful meeting, great morning, and so thank you for everyone for your participation. I'm going to turn it over back to Keith. Thank you.
So I'm just going to use the handheld mic so I can walk around a little bit and talk to you a little bit about what we've done throughout the conference, and then we have some closing remarks, and then I really want to thank a lot of people for making this all possible. But first of all, just to kind of summarize where we've been this morning, our journey has continued. I think it's been a fantastic journey over the last day and a half of coming together as a group, learning amazing things, hearing from amazing speakers. I think I'm still processing so much of it in so many different ways, with the remarks of the keynote speakers, with the panels, with the students, just amazing. You know, some of my takeaways certainly from this morning is that mindset culture really matters. You know, I've heard about mindset for a very long time. In fact, Carol Dweck came to our second coalition leaders meeting and talked by Zoom and talked to us about mindset, and that was really part of what we were doing and thinking about and continue to think about throughout the coalition, because it matters. And certainly what Mary has done is enlarged that picture for us, and hopefully enlarge that picture for you and what you can do across your entire campus. And I really can't express in words well enough to the pride and optimism I have for students after seeing our student panel. Just amazing, just incredibly amazing. It gives us great hope and great inspiration, I hope, for all of us to really make a difference with more students, continue to make a difference with the students that we're seeing every day, and the students that we are very fortunate to be able to put on stage. The students did just an amazing job, and they're always so authentic, and I think we always learn so much from them. We really appreciate that. I think, and throughout the conversations, it's clear that we can do a lot together. We can do more together. I really, really liked what Matt said. He made this comment about the dimming switch has been turned down, or at least it feels that way, but there are candles of light. And I hope you feel that this is at least a little bit of light, a small candle that we can continue to make burn brighter, perhaps bring in more candles, and really start to shine a light on what we can do as a group, as a coalition, and maybe turn that dimmer switch back up a little bit. So some of the challenges that we all face don't seem quite as challenging, and we can see a path forward with what we can do for our students. Certainly the other thing that we want to get across is that the coalition continues to move forward in the way that we communicate, the way we describe ourselves, and our new name. We're very excited about that. We're interested in your feedback on that, of course, as well. And one other thing I wanted to mention about the coalition is that we want to do more to recognize the work that you are doing, and also to recognize the people who have inspired you. So we're working within the coalition. We haven't worked out all the details yet, but we want to develop a better way, and we'd be really interested in feedback on this, of recognizing the programs and initiatives that are part of what the coalition does and what you are doing on your campuses, so that we can figure out a way to present you, the people involved, with some symbol of recognition that could be something like a plaque, that could be some sort of cash award that allows you to do a little bit more. That's certainly something we've talked about, but we really want to start doing that. So in future national conferences, we're making a commitment to really recognize in a broad way and publicize. That is also part of our communication strategy, is really publicize even more than we do already the great work that you're doing and the great recognition that we can hopefully provide to you through our own venues. And obviously we're connecting even more with some of the media that's in higher education, so we'd like to be able to continue to celebrate all that you do. The other idea that we have, that we're still thinking about, is really coming out of the University of Florida learning community. We each had our stories to tell about people who have been influencers for us. And throughout my higher educational career, I've always heard, and I think this is always true, that those people haven't been thanked enough. They don't hear enough from us. We don't, for lots of reasons. Life goes on, we've got other things going on, but every one of us in this room, I am sure, can name one, maybe two, maybe three, maybe more people who really made a huge difference in their educational career and their life path. We want to recognize those people. So we're going to develop a process by which people within the coalition can nominate their influencers, and that we can hopefully, if they're still available to be contacted, put together a certificate or something that allows us to recognize them because of what they did for you and now what you're doing within the coalition and what you're doing for your students. So you're going to be hearing more about that as well. We're still developing that program, but we'll be getting back to you about that. And that's directly out of the Florida Learning Community. That was a great idea. So more about that in the future. There's much more work of the coalition to do. I want to say some words of thanks, but before I do that, I want to bring Kathy Kern back up here, and she's going to introduce her boss, her provost.
Thanks, Keith. I know you all think of me as just the person in charge of your weather. I think I've done pretty well. I do have a day job, which is Senior Vice Provost of Education at the University of Miami. It has been such an honor to have you all here. It's been a great conversation. And none of this is possible for us without great leaders in place. And I feel grateful very much at the University of Miami that I get to work with a wonderful provost. If I say too much about him, I'll get but he's a member of the National Academy of Medicine, a star researcher in public health and HIV. He has been our interim provost for 2 years, and we're really proud of the work that he has done to build community here at the University of Miami. And we thought it would be really fun to have him kind of send us off. So, Willie Prado.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everybody. Can everybody hear me? So Kathy and Maria, those of you who have heard me speak, I'm half Cuban, and if you haven't been here in Miami long enough, realize that Cubans don't need microphones because we tend to project pretty well. So I just wanted to, so even though this is the last hour or so of your day and a half here, I wanted to nonetheless welcome all of you travel from California, from wherever you've come from. I know it's a little easier than others to get here because of all the bad weather. I know that you have spent the last day and a half speaking about interventions and evidence, particularly evidence-based interventions. As Kathy mentioned, I'm a public health scientist by training, and so I always think about evidence-based interventions, whether they pertain to public health, whether they pertain so thank all of you, whether you're faculty, staff, all the work that you do, take whatever evidence-based intervention we have learned through research and through literature that work, taking those to scale. Ultimately, we all here, our students succeed while they're here, and once they go away, right? And we want to see them live very productive, healthy lives. Psychology students spoke earlier, and we are very proud of our students. Miami, as I'm sure you all are at your respective institutions. And Keith mentioned mentoring. Mentoring is such an important thing. You know that mentors change lives. I all had a number throughout my career. I was the first in my family to go to college. The expectation that I get an undergraduate degree, but zero expectation on that. And the only reason why I ended up here at the University of Miami in 1997, which is when I first stepped foot on this campus, because I had no idea what I was going to do in my life. So students who are here, if you don't know what you're going to do with your life at this stage, that's okay. And it was there that I met mentor, colleague, friend, he's still on the faculty here at the Miami, helped shepherd me through the master's program, and who introduced the world of a PhD, a doctoral degree. I had no idea. As somebody who was Cuban and Mexican, my entire family, you were a doctor, that meant you were going to get an MD degree. There was no PhD, no other type, whether it be DBA, DO, you name it, right? It was going to be an MD. And so my life was changed. Faculty member, I'd like to nominate him for one of these certificates. His name is Dan Feaster. And he really was the one that opened doors, as many of my mentors have, who have just helped me get to where I am today. And it doesn't go unnoticed because I still call every single one of them every time I'm thinking about contemplating a move. And so all of us serve as mentors and will continue to be mentors. I also think it's important for us, mentors, have network, right? Because who's going to watch out for us, the mentors, particularly during challenging times? And so this coalition accomplishes just that. So I want to say thank you all very much. I hope that you all have safe travels back home, whether you're staying a little longer and going to Fairchild, or whether you're going to MIA for a 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock flight. By the way, it's not too early to start heading out in just a few minutes. You may be a little late. You're right, Maria. But that's right. But all that to say, we are all very grateful for you. We're very grateful for the mission. We're glad we just joined a little ago. And I want to end by thanking Kathy and her team. Aurora, I think I saw Aurora back there. Oh, there she is, standing up now. So thank you all so very much. Appreciate it. Take care.
And I want to just conclude before we all go to lunch with many, many thanks to many, many people. And I want to start off by thanking the Kern Family Foundation. Chris Stosky is here from the Kern Family Foundation. They have been incredibly generous with their support and with their guidance and with their insight and experience and connections and all the other things that make it possible for the coalition to do the work that it does. Jacob Anderson is also here from the Argosy Foundation, which is another big contributor to the work that we've done. And through our conversations with people at Argosy, and John Aberle in particular, we've received a ton of guidance and a ton of good ideas for what the coalition can do and what it can become. I also want to thank, of course, all the people at the University of Miami. Willie, thank you so much for allowing us to come here, for providing us with your office's support, with Kathy Kern's support, with Aurora's support, with all the other people that are part of the Provost's office. You have been incredible, wonderful. Thank you so much for all the hard work you've put into making this possible. Really appreciate it. Also want to thank the people who have supported us, the AV staff, our photographer, who has been wonderful wandering around. Mena Catering, who's been providing us with wonderful food. Also, thank you so much for providing that to us. And of course, my colleagues in the Coalition for Transformational Education, the Learning Well Coalition, fell into that one. The Learning Well Coalition, Rick Miller, as I mentioned, not able to be here today, but I am sure he is watching, listening in at this very moment. Rick, thank you so much for the tireless work yes, please applaud Rick. My colleagues, John Volin, Marjorie Malpede, I don't know where you all are. There you are. Thank you so much. Nancy Sullivan, Sharon Breitbart, Molly Ames, and of course, the people who have really made this conference possible. Dana Humphrey has been amazing. Thank you so much. Anna Milrod, thank you so much. Thank you. And she's already over there. And I have to say, both of them brought their families. So I have to thank their families as well, which made this all possible. They did so much work, and their families supported them so well in making this all possible, and their work all possible. Thank you so much. That concludes the meeting. Again, thank you all. I almost forgot to say that. Thank you all for being here, for taking the time out of your days, out of your work, which is, of course, always very demanding, to be with us here today, yesterday, Sunday evening for some of you. It means an incredible amount to us, your participation, your ideas, your enthusiasm, your willingness to try and contribute on your own campuses, but your willingness to try and change some of higher education. Again, be candles of light. I was particularly inspired, or hopefully we have an opportunity to be inspired by some of the things we heard from the media panel. I think we can do more I think we as an organization, a coalition that makes a difference, that is a group of people who care about focusing on student experiences and on student well-being, that we can make a difference and we can shine ever brighter. So thank you all for being part of that, and I hope you have great, safe travels, efficient, expedient travels home. Hopefully there won't be the delays that some of you had getting here, but thank you again for being here. We have lunch, which I think is pretty much ready for those people who are going on the optional botanical garden tour. We'll meet about 1:10, I think we said, pretty much in here, and then we'll get to the bus. The bus will be able to drive people to the airport at the end, if you can stay that long, and so you'll be able to get back. Again, thank you for being here. Thank you for your support. Safe travels home.
Thank you.